Hello everyone! Today I will be ranking the top 10 All-Stars from worst to best. Now, before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want. We're so close to 10 subs and it would be very cool. Now, anyways, let's get started. Starting on number 10 is Wrestling Star. If I can sum it up in one word, it would be outclassed. His main gimmick is that he is a slow firing all-star that is supposed to do tons of damage up close, but bad damage at range. But here's the thing, his damage is fine up close, but abysmal at longer distances, like his gimmick is supposed to be. But the problem is 6 other all-stars do better than him up close, and also do better at longer ranges than him. But what about the other 3 all-stars? What do they do? Well, to sum it up, they do more than him outside of damage, like Rugby Star's range and splash, or Moto X Star's speed and ability removing, and even Goalie Star's freeze gimmick and longer firing time. It just makes Wrestling Star outclassed, and due to his slow fire rate, slow projectile, and horrible range, yeah, he's just a bad character. But I will give him this, he is the best bad character due to him having the all-star ability set. But yeah, that's really all that's going for him. And due to all of that, he goes in number 10, or the 10th place. In number 9, we have Goalie Star. Now we go from the bad characters to the good characters. Goalie Star is a good character. He has a long firing time, meaning he can suppress areas, and a freezing effect, so 1v1s are really easy. So why is he in number 9? Well, for 2 reasons. The first effect is his damage drop off is a bit higher than the stock all-stars, but the second reason is his damage being so low. He only hits 5 damage instead of 8, so he only does 51 DPS compared to the 81 DPS that stock does. And that's really about it with this character. He isn't the most complicated character, but that isn't bad. There's nothing much to talk about this character. Aside from the fact that he can be used as a support character. Oh my god, how many times am I going to say character? But outside of that, his damage puts him in number 9. In number 8, we have Cricket Star. He's the fire variant for the all-star class, meaning like most other fire variants, he gets a bunch of downsides, like lower damage, higher damage drop-off, and slower projectile speed. But the slower projectile speed makes Cricket Star really good for suppression. Due to the slower projectile, it can cover more areas and bullets that deal fire damage over time, meaning you can damage multiple enemies at the same time, but at the cost of less range and less damage, meaning he is at number 8. But he is amazing for suppression, and yeah, he's really good for turf, like shutting down entire points on turf. Yeah, he's pretty good for that. In number 7, we have Tennis Star. He moves 50% faster when he's shooting his weapon or spinning up his weapon, along with having a slightly faster projectile and slightly faster rate of fire. But those don't really make much of a difference. And the downsides are way less range, making him close range based, and a bit of a faster overheat time, along with just lower damage overall, going from 81 DPS from stock to 68 DPS, making Tennis Star the real close range all-star. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say that he moves slightly faster outside of his weapon spun up, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. But yeah, overall due to him being faster when firing or his weapon spun up, but close range nature and lower damage, he goes in number 7. At number 6, we have Gold Star. Trust me, I really wanted to put this guy in the top 5, but one all-star is just slightly better than him. Gold Star is supposed to be the ranged variant, with a faster projectile speed, lower damage drop-off, and extended zoom, along with a faster rate of fire, and just being really accurate for how fast he fires his weapon. But at the cost of lower damage, going from 81 DPS from from stock to 68 DPS and a worse heat drop. And by the way, for those who don't know what heat drop is how long you need to keep your weapon to cool down after shooting without overheating it. Golf Star is a really good pick, but sadly, the extended zoom kind of hinders him, because when he shoots with the faster firing speed, it makes the screen shake a lot more when zooming in, which hinders him when trying to hit a target. Overall, he's really good with his lower damage drop-off, extended zoom, and being really accurate, and a fair amount of more upsides that I just can't list due to time. But due to his lower heat drop, lower damage, and screen shaking more, he goes in number 6. So now we are going to the top 5 All-Stars, and at the number 5 spot, we have Motocross Star. Now, this may be surprising to most people, but this character is insanely fast. Like, the fastest zombie in the game, aside from Breakfast Brains, which is just as fast as him. But some more things with Motocross Star is his ability stopping gimmick, which, yeah, is just a worse version of Frost Effect that takes less shots to apply it, and it lasts longer. His slightly faster projectile, the fact he gets Splash, which helps his ability canceling effect and at longer ranges a lot more, and his really long overheat time, being slightly longer than Goalie Star's firing time by like 1 millisecond, but still, it's still 1 millisecond. Motocross Star seems like that he's a really good all-star. So why is he only at number 5? Well, his first downside is his heat drop, which is the same as Golf Star's. But here's the worst part. His damage is the exact same as Goalie Star's. Or, well, he gets 1 extra damage, but still. Only hitting 5.2 damage, going from 81 DPS of stock to only 52 DPS, making him the offense-defense support character for the All-Stars, while also just helping out with a lot of utility. But due to him struggling against more tanky opponents, he only lands at the number 5 spot on this list. At number 4, we have Rugby Star. Again, another surprising spot on this list, but let me explain. Rugby Star's main gimmick is splash damage and being a slow firing all-star, hitting higher single shot damage than a regular all-star, but not as much as Wrestling Star. His splash damage helps him hit enemies around the corners or helping him at range fights, because, you know, for those who don't know, Splash doesn't have any damage drop off. And to minor things like destroying multiple potato mines or shooting multiple people at the same time. Along with that gimmick, he gets a longer damage drop off, a faster projectile, the second fastest projectile in the All-Star class, and his heat drop being the best heat drop in the game, only being shared by another All-Star. But he gets 3 downsides. The most minor downside is being a slower firing all-star, which is a downside and an upside, with the downside being making it harder to shoot down guard drones, or needing to hit more of his shots due to him being a slow firing all-star. But this second reason doesn't really matter much due to his splash damage and fast projectile speed, and the upside being less recoil and less screen shake, allowing him to hit more shots. But these next 2 downsides are pretty bad. His damage is lower than the regular all-star, going from 81 DPS from stock to 55, which isn't bad, but you know. And the second fastest overheat in the all-star class, meaning Rugby Star needs to look out for his overheat, and his damage isn't bad, it's just fine for the most part. But sometimes you need to use an ability to kill the enemy, because sometimes when facing tankier opponents, it can be pretty detrimental. Overall, he's in the number 4 spot due to his generous splash, low damage drop-off, and fast projectile speed, but still kept in check for his damage and overheat. Also, disclaimer, yeah, sorry for this part being long. This is my favorite all-star in the game, and I just needed to say how to play him, since many people don't know how to play this character and just rank him low, usually. Anyways, time for the top 3 all-stars. So coming in at number 3 is the stock all-star. His damage is good. Or, well, should I say, really good. His range is good. His overheat and heat drop is really good. Basically, everything about this character is great. But the only downside I can say about this all-star is his projectile speed being kind of slow. And that's really the only downside I can say for this character. And that's really about it. No fancy gimmicks or brand new features for this all-star. Just a lot of damage. So due to his stats being really good at mostly everything, but his projectile being kind of slow and you need to predict your shots, he goes in 3rd place. In 2nd place is Baseball Star. Stock All-Star and Baseball Star can be switched around like it's barely a difference, but Baseball Star up close with the upgrades can deal 101 damage instead of a fully upgraded Stock All-Star that can deal 97 DPS. But that's just a minor change. But the main gimmick is his shooting time being really short, but his overheat penalty being really short also. So he theoretically, or well, not theoretically, he can fire without worrying about overheat, since his overheat penalty is really short, along with a faster fire rate. But this all comes at a cost, and that cost is low damage at range and the same kind of projectile that Stock All-Star has. Like Stock All-Stars, yeah. And if he's not fully upgraded and not hitting headshots up close, he hits 71 DPS instead of 81 DPS. So yeah, which puts him on the 2nd spot on this list. And I just need to say this again, Stock All-Star and Baseball Star are so close for the 2nd spot that it can easily be changed for the ranking between Stock and Baseball Star. Like, for example, you can easily just throw Stock All-Star in number 2 or then switch them around. It's like so close, it's like barely a difference. Now coming in at number 1, we have Hockey Star. Hockey Star is insane. He gets the fastest fire rate in the game when it comes to primary weapons. His projectile speed is the fastest in his class. His heat drop is the same as Rugby Star's. His damage with upgrades is also insane. His overheat penalty is the 2nd shortest in his class, and you can fire for a long time. Meaning, you basically never just need to worry about overheating. Due to it being so short, it's like just barely. It's like so close to Baseball Stars, it's like kind of insane. But yeah, it's incredibly insane how busted this character is. But he does come with 2 downsides. His accuracy without zooming in is kind of bad, and his range game is also kind of bad. But that's really about it with the downsides. Aside from slightly lower damage from Stock All-Star, this character has so much consistency, incredible damage, incredible overheat for heat drop, firing time, and overheat penalty, and is overall just the best all-star and deserves the number 1 spot on this list. And that's it for my all-star tier list. Or, well, not really tier list, it's more of a ranking, but still. If you skip to the end to see the rankings, well, here you go, here's the rankings. But if you want to hear my reasonings for these rankings, just watch the full video. Like, it's not really hindering you. It's like 10 minutes, I think. Maybe I haven't edited the entire video yet, but anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on notifications. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.